Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a minute since I did an actual video with you all. If this is your first time coming to one of my VODs, hello, my name is LotusMaje, and today you see the thumbnail, you see the title. Today I am going to be doing a reading on what we can expect, with Trump and Vance winning the presidency. Yes, if you didn't know, if you've been avoiding it, Trump and Vance won the presidential election here in the United States, and they will be taking over sometime in January. And so right now there is a lot of people sitting with dread, some nervousness. Some people are also sitting with hope, opportunity, looking forward to what's coming forward for us in the next 4 years under Trump's presidency. But mainly, I think there is a lot of concern in exactly how he's going to roll out some of the policies he's alluded to during his time campaigning, such as, the Roe v. Wade issue, the Project 2025, the tariff issue, economy here, even though supposedly America is doing better than everywhere else. What else is something else? People are worried about him packing the courts, the Supreme Court, because Alito and Thomas, I think it is, Clarence Thomas, are getting ready to retire, or they're going to pull out so he can replace them with someone younger, which, because they're a lifetime appointed seat, they're there. So he's going to probably find somebody young and just put him in there. There's, all types of concerns around stuff. Repealing things dealing with the climate change or climate protections, and also things in regards to bringing jobs here to America. And of course, if he is really going to get rid of the education system that we have here, or at least the Department of Education and the health department, there's going to be a lot of shakeup with that, because I think also the FDA is going to be at risk. I think there's also been talks of maybe him owning or pulling the FBI and the Social Guard under the power of the president. There's all types of things. People are still worried about what's going to come up with his legal convictions that's against him. I think he has 32 felony counts or something like that. But the list goes on and on and on. So some people are concerned about this. Where is it going to put us? Is there going to be leaders that's going to be willing to work with Donald Trump? Is he really going to go out here and exact revenge, as he has said? La da la da la da, ba ra ba ra ba ra. So I am here to do this reading. I did do an initial reading on this live, but I was not tapped in. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I was up. I was in a different headspace. There was a lot going on with me. I'm sure you don't care to hear about it, but I was in a different headspace. So I was not prepared to do the reading. I am trying these cards again because I did initially try these before when I was doing the reading. This is a new deck for me, but this deck has been out for quite some time. It is called the American Renaissance Tarot. I felt like it was very fitting to use these cards for this reading, and so that's what I am going to do. Now that you know that when I say LotusMaje divination, if that didn't give you a hint, if me pulling out these cards and telling you, hey, I'm going to be using some tarot cards to do this reading, if that didn't give you a hint, let me just outright tell you, I am going to be using tarot decks to kind of hone in on a message from the Most High, from the divine, from my spiritual guides, and etc., my team, to kind of deliver a message to me so that I may relay them to you. Hopefully quell some of your worries and maybe invigorate some of you. But I am simply here to do a reading. I am not in control of what comes out of these cards. I am simply trying to get a message from the universe. So this message, or you think this video may be too heavy for you right now, you can't hear anything else, here's your moment of time to click off. If anything esoteric, talks about the woo-woo, talks about magic, divination itself, tarot use is something that alarms your spirit, it doesn't resonate with your creed, your religious beliefs, etc., etc., here's your moment of time to click off. You are more than welcome to go somewhere else on YouTube. You do not have to be here. If you are someone who is okay with all of those things and you decide to proceed forward, please let me first and foremost warn you, I am an intuitive reader. I am not saying I am a mediumship. I am not saying I am a seer. That does not mean anything that I'm getting out of these cards is set in stone. It's simply simply reading the energies at the moment and what they could be alluding to in the future. Think of it as like I was a translator. Sometimes in languages, there's no one of one when you're translating things, so you have to just do your best. With all of that being said, please note that all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only, and that you should not use tarot as your end-all be-all when doing any kind of readings, whether it is something like this where I'm doing it for entertainment purposes, or whether it's for legal, financial, health matters, whatever the case may be. Make sure you actually consult a doctor, a lawyer, a banker, your IRS consultant, analyst, financial analyst, whoever you need to, in order to come to a sound and support its conclusion, okay? This is why I always tell you to exercise your power of discernment. Any messages I get in here that resonate with you, great. Take it, leave with it. If it doesn't, leave it on the table, okay? So with all of that being said, let me also forewarn you all to be nice in the comments. I am simply reading for the future of Donald Trump's presidency. I am not doing this to be malicious. I am not going after one person or the other, although I will openly admit I do have a bias here in this reading. I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to get a message. I'm doing this reading just as much as for you all as I'm doing it for myself. So take that, okay? So let's get into this. I'm going to do this first part here. I'm a little rusty doing recorded videos. I'm so used to doing this live. So this is year 2025. Okay, I had 2 cards fall again. 1 second. So I decided to do this year by year. So we have 2025, 26, 27, and then I am going to pull for year 2028. What do we have to look forward to? Because I think I was doing it over the entire course, but I think I should probably do a year by year. That will probably help me hone in better on what's coming up. And once again, I have 2 cards. Okay. And it's funny, for the ones I'm getting like 2 cards on, I'm getting one that's upright and one that's in reverse. So if you have never seen me do my readings live before, you're missing out. You should check them out. I did do a world intuitive reading. I will link that here. You'll see it on the iCard. So you can check that out and see if there's anything else that came up in that, because I only did it through the end of this year, the year 2024. So what we have coming up or look forward to. So maybe there's some additional things I said in there that may come up in here as well. But let's see. So for year 2025, sorry, we do have the whole financial thing happening here as well. This makes me feel like people are acting like they have something that they don't. The betrayal, the acting of something. Underneath here, we do have the Magician card. If you didn't catch my actual live reading of this, so you can see this here, when I did indeed pull the Magician card when I did this reading initially, and I pointed out the same thing. I don't know how good this camera will get. You see how it's like this book is about nature and it's burning. So that is pretty interesting that this is coming up again, but it's on the bottom of the deck. We do have the King of Wands, and Donald Trump do give me King of Wands energy, even though he's a Gemini, I believe. He does kind of give very ambitious, very thwarting, very authoritative, kind of on the emperor energy almost. And he is someone, whether you like it or not, he is a very, he's a man who's not adverse to love language. And then we also have the Devil here in reverse. So this makes me, yeah, especially with all of this on here, there is a thing, because I want you all to see this. So I don't know if you all have heard the story about the Hottentot Venus. Look that up. And then this is also stuff dealing with what do they call it? Eugenics. the studies of eugenics. You kind of see that going on here in the background. So it's kind of like you are going about this in a nefarious way. You have ill intentions behind the power or the aspirations that you have. But also with the devil card being here in this particular deck, it also gives a thing of like you needing to exercise powers of restraint that you don't have. Because you don't have those restraints, you don't have those shackles on. It's kind of like, well, why should I'm play by the same rules that you are, is essentially kind of like what I'm getting. But going back to this, where we're going into the year 2025, we do have again the Six of Cups and the Two of Coins here. Notice notice that the Six of Cups is coming up in reverse. This just makes me feel like a breakdown between relationships. People are going to want to return to the past, and I don't think it's quite that simple. I think there is something he's going to try to do, enact, write into law, authorize, whatever the case may be, and it's to assuage the people who voted for him, and it's not quite going to work out the way he wants. It feels like what they call it, smoke and mirrors kind of energy here. There is a very tough financial decision he's going to make in that first year he's in there as well, because it's something he wants to do to fulfill a wish or the wishes of others, and like, you know, something charitable that's not going to quite be carried over the way that he wants. And then we have the Ace of Cups here that's coming up in reverse as well. I don't know why this card. I keep getting something about something not quite appearing what it seems to be on the surface, at least. And I wonder about the Ace of Cups coming up for him in this second year of his presidency, especially with this Two of Coins and the Six of Cups here. It just feels like, I don't know, something's going to knock the wind out of his sails, like first thing out the gate here. And then we have, I'm going to have to pull some more cards on this Ace of Cups, to be honest. And so then we have the Ace of Wands and the Queen of Swords for 2027, right? Because 25, 26, yeah, 27. And we have the Queen of Swords. And I think the Queen of Swords came up for him last time. Am I correct? I'm pretty sure it did. And the Queen of Swords, so I wonder what is something he's going to do in year 2027 that's probably going to be a turn off to women in some shape or form or matter, or it's going to go into effect, or it's going to affect women in that year. This could also involve a particular person that may be hindering his progress the way that he wants, or that's going to bring some sort of scandal to his administration. Not sure, but I am seeing the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords can also represent just something that's a bit difficult for you to overcome, and he may not succeed at it. What is Melania's sign, I wonder? Is she an air sign? This Ace of Wands just gives me like renewed adventure. It also can speak to virality. It can speak to passion, sensuality. It can speak to, you know, kind of like your hunger to get out there and make something out yourself, to get out there and get it. And then in 2028, so we do see the Five of Swords here. Again, someone not appearing as they seem to be, him being his own worst enemy. Because I find it weird that we have both the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords is coming up in reverse as well. And so typically it means like getting over a heartbreak, you know, overcoming some kind of difficult, heart-wrenching thing, sometimes overcoming your, or lose to like getting over your own internal dialogue, negative thoughts that you have as well in this particular deck. But then also with the Five of Swords just makes me feel like I don't know what it is, he's competing with the image of himself, of his old self, that people is probably going to hold him to. But let's see if I can get more information. Shall we move these up here? so I can make room and get more information, because again, this is a new deck I'm working with too, so sometimes it takes a minute for you to kind of tap in. I probably should have worked with them a bit in between my live recordings to kind of get a better idea. Wealth, success, and wisdom. Wealth, success, and wisdom. Yellow Jasper 7. You have the Two of Cups, the Two of Coins here, and the Six of Cups. Is there going to be something he's going to do for his own selfish gain, for his own selfish reasons, in order to gain money? Or to help his friends out or something? Like it's something personal, owing a favor back to somebody, because sometimes that's what the Six of Cups give me too. Scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of energy. But it's going to end up coming at a higher cost to everyone else, or maybe to himself. It doesn't have to be the American people, but so I did have a few cards flip over as I was asking about 2026. So we have the Eight of Spades here, which is dealing with peace, tranquility. We have the Blue Howlight, the Nine of Diamonds, awareness, confidence, and calmness. We have the Ten of Hearts, dealing with self-reflection, protection. We have the Five of Spades, dealing with building courage and attraction and wealth. We have the King of Diamonds, dealing with wealth, wisdom, success, and love. We have the Three of Clubs, dealing with harmony, brotherhood, and goodwill. And then we also have the Nine of Spades, Antigarites. I think that's how you say it, but it's also dealing with flow, intuition, and bloom. So I'm going to throw these back in here like so and mix them up. Okay, so these two here. So King of Diamonds is coming up again. Ace of Cups. Wealth, wisdom, success, and love. And then we have Obsidian, self-reflection, protection, and growth. It did come up in reverse, though. I wonder if he's gonna be like lax that second year of his term, because notice the rest of these years I'm getting like two cards, like it's a lot that's going to be taking place, but for 2026 I'm only getting one card here, and then I feel like he's going to try to ramp up and overpower things in that last year with the swords being here. It seems like he's going to kind of try to whip things into shape, or push a lot of last minute things through, or come back and visit something that they didn't let him do at the beginning, and he's going to come back and try to finish it or something. Like, I wonder if that's what's coming up here. But we do have the Two of Hearts here, dealing with the agate, stability, grounding, and supportive. It's coming up in reverse, though. Is there going to be like some shakeup in his party? We do have the underlying cards here, dealing with the Eight of Clubs, dealing with happiness, beauty, joy. We have the Queen of Spades, dealing with passion. That Queen of Spades is essentially like the Queen of Swords again. Who is this airy woman, or this airy situation, this airy thing that's coming up here? And then we also have Opalite, dealing with the Jack of Spades, clubs. Clear thinking, new beginnings, and childlike glee. Childlike glee, new beginnings. Is he going to change tactics, or something that he Like, this makes me feel like he's going to revisit something from his previous term or previous presidency, whatever you want to call it. And maybe he's going to go back and revamp it. But for whatever reason, maybe it's not going to happen, or, you know, it's not going to pass the way he quite wanted. And so he's kind of like bummed out about it. And so then maybe he lets it go and he takes that time in that second year to kind of lay the groundwork for the next 2 years to actually push some things through before he leaves. And I think a lot of it is going to be things that I want to say they're kind of like attack home, or it's going to be dealing with a lot of like legislation and stuff, dealing with like home matters. Let's see, is there anything else coming up here? Spirit, presidency. We're looking forward to what is going on. Okay, this flipped over in my hand. I had one fall on the floor, and this one is hilarious. I was getting something about this in the first time I did this reading. There's some kind of, I don't know if it's the female collective here in America. I don't know if it's the female collective worldwide, or there's just some strong feminine energy or influence around Trump, like in his close circle or proximity or something. But I think there is something here where he is going to face the wrath or the repercussions of something dealing with some kind of feminine energy. I don't know exactly what's going to cause it. I don't know if it's just, you know, people's worry or whatever the case may be. I just feel like there's something here where people are gonna, not people, the feminine or the female population or the female performing, presenting, whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be like, not this time, bro. Because with, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. That just, it literally gives that, like, housewives, soccer moms, stay-at-home moms, single parents, single mothers, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, I'm just tired. I'm over it. Because with this Queen of Swords here, and I think we also got something in the playing cards about the Queen of Swords too, didn't we? Yep. There just keeps seeming to be some kind of like strong feminine energy that's coming up here. What is Ivanka's sign? That's interesting. A come to Jesus moment in this presidency. Truthful communication. I just don't see that. I'm sorry. I don't see that. Integrity, divine intervention. I can see that happening. Some kind of divine intervention, some deus ex machina. I could see something like that happening. Surrender and reconciliation. That surrender and reconciliation makes me feel like that could be the parties surrendering under his rule and reign, or it's going to be a thing of like, hey, you know what, we have a common enemy about something, like, let's work together on this. A come to Jesus moment. And then too big for your britches. Yeah, this just gives me what I feel like a lot of people see about Trump. He is somebody who seems to be, and this is for a lot of the politicians, there is a selfish element to this re-election, to him wanting to run for this, you know, him wanting to prove that he is what America needs and wants. There is something here about trying to live up to a certain, there is a sense of like arrogantness to him, and I think that's a big appeal to a lot of people who have voted for Trump. There's a lot of gimmicks and I want to say pageantry or like showboating when it comes to Trump. And again, there is a lot of theatrics when it comes to the political arena here in America, or I would say pretty much anywhere anyway. So I think there is a lot of that, but I think there's something here where he's not qualified and he's kind of stepping in or trying to force himself into it when he shouldn't be. He should remove himself because he's getting in over his head. That's usually what the too big for your britches gives me. And I don't know if he's aware of it or he is aware of it, and maybe he tries to put people in positions to where they're, you know, or people who are better qualified or capable to handle those situations, but they probably just fall short, or they're showboating. They're speaking too big and too highly of themselves. They're overestimating their power and their strength and their pool. And so it just ends up falling back on him and making him look bad or something. I don't know. But that too big for your britches, that wholeheartedly feels like Trump all the way around. But there does, I would say for this, it does feel like there's something where he's revisiting something from his previous term as president, and something about it, I'm not getting it clear. Something about it isn't going to quite work out, or it's not going to be quite what people expected or wanted, or whatever the case may be. And I think he's gonna like get admonished about it. It's kind of like he's gonna get his hand hit about it, and he's gonna like chill that second year, and then it's like he's going back to the drawing board, or you know, him and his people or his administration is like in the war room, and they're like, hey, how can we get this out? How can we do this? How can we push this? And then it's going to kind of ramp up here, but there's going to be some pushback or resistance from some female individual or some female power entity or a swell of it. It just feels like, or somebody close to him that he really values their opinion and insight about. And that's going to be the pushback. Now, whether it succeeds or not, I don't know. But that's what that feels like. And it seems like that last year, he's kind of like just trying to punch through a lot of things. And he's going to pretty much turn into his own worst enemy. Okay, maybe I need to re-ask these questions and focus in on kind of like policy-wise, because I'm just getting the overall feel of what each year may bring. And I wonder if I should be more specific and ask about what policy changes, because I think that's what most people are looking for. So let's see if I get a beat on that. Okay, that's one. This is a big heap of junk that flipped over, and I'm just going to mix these back in here. And I got that tower last time too when I did this reading, and that makes me nervous. I'm not gonna lie, that tower card makes me nervous. Okay. Last one. So I'm gonna see if I can hone in on policies. So we have the Two of Cups in reverse. We have the Two of Swords in reverse. We have the Tower in the upright going into the Five of Cups in reverse. So notice that we have a lot of these twos. And mainly this is the Two of Swords and the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is kind of up there on some Lover's card type energy, but with this coming up in reverse, I think there's something he's going to enact or pass or try to push through, whatever the case may be. And I don't think it comes as no surprise. It's going to hit the family structure, and I was getting this earlier in the first part of this reading. I think it's something that's going to hit the family structure or the foundation, and I don't think people are going to like it, or at least one side of it is not going to like it. It's not going to be appropriate. They're not wanting to pass it through, or maybe it's good tensions behind it, but you know, having good intentions and how it actually plays out is two different things. And then we have the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords is giving me misguided. I don't know why I'm getting that misguided. Misguided about what? Two of Swords in reverse is giving me misguided energy. I just want y'all again to note this. In my original video, I got this card as well when I pulled the cards live. I got the Tower card, and I think it came out in the third position last time as well. And notice what it says here. Now, a union doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be, you know, the United States. It could be the union of like, maybe there's some disharmony that's going to happen, which we all can look forward to, because I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of disharmony when it comes between, you know, states' rights and federal rights. What about city rights? What about, you know, individual rights? What do they call it? Inalienable. Is that what they call it? Inalienable. I don't know why that sounds weird. Inalienable rights, something like that. I just think there's going to be a lot of pushback and argument about that. There's going to be a lot of states maybe pushing back and trying the federal. It could actually mean that there is going to be a split in the United States. I hope not. But this could be alluding to all of that. But it also could be a thing of like maybe there's just going to be more division in the home. I'll say it that way. And notice the Five of Cups is coming up in reverse here. So if you don't see that big old scarlet A above her head, this is dealing with the scarlet letter. That's the story behind this. This is the woman who entered into the affair and, you know, kept the evidence of the affair. This could be interpreted in so many different ways for me. This could be alluding to the whole Roe v. Wade thing. This could be alluding to those who live on the fringes, who are kind of being pushed out, those who are not accepted into the union, being cast out or being pushed away or being branded in some sort of way, some kind of social pariah. There's a couple of different ways that I can interpret it. I'm not sure exactly which one is more leaning to. It could be alluding to all of them, but yeah. But let's see if I get more information here. Because this isn't looking really well. And I think it's funny that this Tower card, at least now I'm laughing. It may not be funny if it actually passed, but I think it's funny that this Tower card has come up every time I pulled on this, because it just, to me, it just reaffirms like there is going to be some kind of calamity, or there's going to be something that's shocking, something that's really going to turn things on its head here in America, and there's no avoiding it now that we're on this trajectory. So I would say I don't think that comes as a surprise to some people who don't like Trump or think he's a weak leader. I think a lot of people could see that coming from a mile away. You wouldn't really need cards for that. But yes. I'm not doing this by year, mind you. So don't be like, oh yeah, so we're gonna have to really worry about things in that third year. No, I just pulled this overall for the energy for his presidency, for policies and things like that we need to be aware of. And I definitely think there's going to be something he's going to try to pass or is going to pass. And for whatever reason, it is going to cause a lot of what they call it fallout. It's going to be a lot of fallout from it. I just want to note this one card that went flying off to the side. We do have that obsidian again, dealing with self-protection, growth, reflection. And this card also wanted to come out again too. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Harmony, brotherhood, and goodwill is coming up in reverse. And that is the Three of Clubs. Again, that's just reaffirming the overall energy I'm getting with that. It's something that's not going to be, it's going to put, I feel like it's something that's, what I'm getting is it's going to put man and woman at odds with one another, or it's going to put like mother and son against each other, daughter against father. It's something like that. It feels like very on the home fronts and putting people against each other kind of energy. And we have the Snowflake Obsidian that comes out this time. And this is dealing with self-reflection, protection, and growth. Why would the Ten of Hearts, essentially the Ten of Cups, come out with the Two of Swords in reverse? And I keep getting something about making the wrong choice or like being misled. Is he going to be misled by somebody close to him or something with this Ten of Hearts here? And a decision? Okay. Passion, energy, and health. And this is that Queen of Spades again, coming up in that third position. Remember, that was the pretty much you can say the Queen of Swords. It's coming up here again. Third position with the Tower. What's happening? What is happening? Okay. Intuition, dreams, energy, and passion with the Ace of Spades. Did I look at the underlying cards for this pool? I didn't. We do have the King of Coins coming up for the underlying energy here. King of Coins coming up. And then we have Seven of Coins. God. And then we have the Queen of Cups coming up. And then that Three of Swords is coming up again. All of them are coming up in reverse. Why? The King of Coins, typically when this comes up in reverse to me, it's kind of like being blinded by material possessions or greed. Not having a clear indication of where and what you want to do. Think about the negative traits of a Capricorn. It's kind of like along the lines of what I think of with the King of Coins here. This could be representative of Trump. Again, he did have the King of Wands earlier, but I could also see him as the King of Coins as well. Someone who thinks they are very savvy, very good with, good with money, with wealth. Someone who carries himself in with some kind of class, some material access, power to things. And then we also have the Seven of Coins here. And the Seven of Coins doesn't always go into the thing of like, sometimes it speaks to things of like, hey, are you really committed to doing this, or are you doing this because you think you have to? Like, you're kind of going in on something on a gamble. There's no real clear destination or thought process to it. So don't expect to kind of get something good out of this later, now that you're planting these seeds. These seeds are sour because you didn't do your due diligence and making sure you scoured them and make sure they were, of good quality. And now you planted them and you think you're going to have food. No, baby, it's rotting. And then we have the Queen of Cups coming here up in reverse, which I think is a very toxic sign, because the Queen of Cups, I don't care what anybody say, people want to say, the Queen of Swords is very manipulative, but I think the Queen of Cups is even more so dangerous because it's the emotional manipulation. She's very motherly, very giving, very warm. She would gaslight the heck out of you with the Queen of Cups coming up here in reverse. So again, usually when I read my court cards, I don't think of them as just a person. It could be dealing with a person, place, or a thing, a kind of situation here. So I do want to note that that's what we're getting here in reverse. And then on the bottom of the deck here with the playing cards, we have the Four of I'm about to say Four of Swords, the Four of Spades here, dealing with balance, calmness, and strength, which I don't think Donald Trump has balance. I'm sorry, you can say what you want. I don't think he's balanced. That man always seems fired up, like he wakes up mad about something. And then we have the Jack of Spades as well, dealing with balance, energizing, and refreshing. Balance, where's the balance? That seems to be a reoccurring theme here. And then we also have the Nine of Hearts or the Cups, dealing with the effervescent joy and happiness, the paradox. Isn't the paradox, is that the August gemstone? I might be wrong. Yeah, he's gonna piss some feminine energy off in his pursuit to kind of like, I don't know, prove that he's a man, that he's got it, that he has the virality, that he has the money, the wealth, the power. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever the case may be, it's something, some kind of like misstep or selfish decision he is going to make that's going to piss off some kind of feminine energy here. Like, it's gonna get ugly. Okay. And I keep getting something about y'all trying to make something look like what it ain't. Y'all trying to pass something that's not quite what it looks like it's trying to be. Or you're trying to present yourself in some kind of way that you're not. That's not you, babes. Lipstick on a pig. You trying to dress something up, gussy it up, and I'm not here for it. Okay. And then One Horse Town. When I seen One Horse Town, I was thinking One Trick Pony. Yeah, I was getting One Trick Pony with this, but it does say boredom, monotony. So it's kind of like giving the definition of insanity, thinking you can keep doing something and thinking you're going to get a different outcome, and it's not going to be that. So that's what this One Horse Town is giving me. And then we have Lipstick on a Pig, and this is dealing with artifice, denial, cover up, trickery, superficiality, frivolity, foolishness. Look closer. I think there's going to be some scandal that's going to come out of his presidency, because this is like the second or third time I've gotten something revolving around that. I wonder if there's going to be some kind of scandal that's going to come up, but it maybe is going to be suppressed or drowned out by everything else that's going to be going on. Like a very repeat of his first term. See, like once you heard one shocking thing, is going to be another. I think there is going to be some kind of big scandal, or at least another big scandal. And then we also have barking up the wrong tree. Again, you're going back and revisiting something, or trying to do something, or trying to push something through, trying to dress it up, trying to lie about it, whatever the case may be. Allegedly, and it just seems like it's going to end in a stalemate. You need to shift perspectives. You need to try a new route, try a different thing. Not this way. It's not happening. Or at least not in the way that you want it to. You can keep trying, but it's going to keep ending in a stalemate, or in failure, or frustration. Yeah. There's something very frustrating coming out of this for him. So again, I'm not mad that I'm not getting a clear beat on which policies he's going to be passing, because that is some very like frivolous back and forth, up upside down kind of energy. So I don't expect me to get that clear, but I will tell you two things. I do think he can expect some kind of fallout, or what they call it, lashing, some kind of repercussions for something he's going to do. And I think it's going to hit the family front very hard, and it's going to really excite or rally around feminine energy, or is going to be dealing with some kind of scandal around a feminine energy of some sort maybe around him. That seems to be some of the bigger things that seems to keep being repeated. I keep getting in the cards. And I think there is something, I don't know, again, because I'm not in Trump's head, I don't know. There seems to be something he really wants to do. And for whatever reason, he keeps hitting roadblocks, or it's not happening the way that he wants it to happen. It's not going to roll out in the matter, in the way with whom he probably wants it to. There's some kind of roadblock, some kind of dissatisfaction that he is trying to right a wrong on. And I'm going to pull one last time and see if there's something else that's going to be coming up, if there's going to be something new. And I'm going to just wrap it up because I don't think I'm meant to get any clarity. So sorry, this is not one of my best readings, but so we do have the Lovers card here. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Seven of Swords. And then I need one last card, Spirit. Yeah, it's a lot of underhandedness afoot, because with the Seven of Swords being here, it just makes me feel like, ooh, look at what flipped over in the deck again. That Tower card. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the story behind this Lover card, I forget exactly the gentleman's name, but it's about some gentleman who was biracial essentially, and he was passing. He, has some power, some notoriety about himself, and this is his wife, as you can see what color she is, and his mother. And it was speaking to the duality of him living in between these two worlds. So I think it's interesting the Lover's card is coming up here, and it's like, especially with all of this racial tension that it seems to be at the forefront of Trump's presidency. Is he racist? Is he not? The whole Latino vote thing, like I think because of so many racial layers and undertones, even with a lot of people's bringing up the whole racial and the sexual connotations with his race against Kamala Harris. Like, I find it funny that the Lovers card is coming up. I'm trying to walk in two different worlds. Who could this be pertaining to, though? And then the Ten of Wands here coming up in reverse. And notice the American flag with the eagle. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, I know this is the American Renaissance Tarot, but what is something that Trump tried to pass in his first term that it probably passed by, or it didn't pass by a very slim margin? I don't know, because I feel like there was so much he did, and he would either just executive order it, or they would kill it in the House, I think, at the time, because I think they had the power in the Senate, the Republicans, and they would just kill it in the House or something. This could be dealing with, again, all those tariffs, the shipping, the exchange, the return, travel with the Ten of Wands here. Again, the Seven of Swords just speaks to sneakiness, underhandedness. I don't know why I feel like this is media. Like we're trying to pass something off quite not what it is with the Seven of Swords here. Put it right in your face where you would least expect it, kind of thing. And then the Wheel of Fortune. I'm getting dark desires though. Like, what kind of impulsive wants or needs do you have coming up here with the Wheel of Fortune? Usually, the Wheel of Fortune, especially when it comes up right, is a kind of like a gamble paying off, a windfall coming through. But I'm getting something about dark desires. You know, that kind of makes sense actually. If we take into consideration what I said earlier, there's something he really wants to do. He even hopes of doing it the first time around. Um, or even possibly when he didn't get reelected when he was running for election against Biden. It could even just go back to that. It just seems like there's something here he really wants to do, and little does he know, it's probably best that he lets it go. But he's not gonna listen to me. He's gonna do what he wants to do. Hopefully, he has real people around him that's like, yeah, we don't think so. Okay, I had so many try to. It was these two that fell in my lap. I'm trying to read. Here we go with the snowflake of the Obsidians keep coming out. So yeah, there's something here about protection, protection, protection. Okay, hear me out. I think this is dealing with the Roe v. Wade, or is dealing with some other kind of policies people want. Maybe Biden to protect, or the Democrats to protect in some sort of way, in order to thwart some of the harm that people see coming under Trump's presidency. With this protection and growth and stuff here, it just makes me feels like there's something around there. Like or it could just be something on the state side where they're pushing back and doing a lot of the fighting. And so, it could be a thing of like, hey, the next 4 years, like, yeah, Trump was president, but nothing, the scale didn't really move either way. um, Everything has pretty much stayed centered because the states were fighting here and there, or at least it could feel like that in some places. But in others, it's like, oh, we went back, or we went forward in some sense. Like economically, we went forward, but maybe culturally, we went backwards. Or economically, we went forward, but culturally, we went backwards. Okay, I had a couple of things that flipped over here. I'm just going to note these. We have that harmony and brotherhood coming up again. Again, brotherhoods falling apart, things not working out the way they want, wealth, success, and wisdom. And then we also have the Jack of Diamonds, the Seven of Diamonds, the Three of Clubs here. A choice someone is not going to be happy with. Or it might make some people happy, and that makes me think the brotherhood. Yeah, inspiration, satisfaction, motivation, the Two of Swords here. Wisdom, virtue, good fortune. Okay, so this communication, harmony, and trust. Okay. I think I'm honing in on something here. And again, this keeps coming up. It feels like something revisited from his first term, or the second time he ran for election and it didn't go through, or it didn't happen. I think there's something he's gonna push through. It's not gonna be happy for like maybe the middle class, or the poor working class, blue collar, whatever you want to call it, or it's not going to be favorable to femininity or feminine or females. Sorry if somebody get offended by that, but females, for it just feels like it's going to be something that's going to be going against the females, and it's going to cause a fracture. And then with that fracture being there and a lot of like distrust, dissatisfaction being there, it's going to create like a way for him to kind of run in there to cause some kind of rivet. Whether this is going to be for the will, for good or bad or worse, I'm not sure. But I do think it's going to be something that we're going to have to live with for a while. But then also here with the Seven of Swords, I think there is going to be something he's going to be able to get through. And it's going to be it could be through some kind of policy change, or pulling back on something, or I know recently we went through something like this, like, hey, you got to pass this budget, but it's like, we don't want to pass this budget. Yeah, it's going to help fix our roads. It's going to give us grocery stores. It's going to help put more money in our pockets. It's going to reduce our taxes and raise it on the upper class. But it's sending money to Ukraine, and nobody wants that. Like, we want it for ourselves. So I think it's going to be something like that, some kind of covert thing here. And I feel like it's going to pass, but then there's going to be a lot of backlash. Like, wait a minute, that what was in the bill? This is what it's doing? Why did y'all vote on that? Why did you say yes? How did he do that? Nobody was checking him. And again, whether it's going to be for good or for worse, I don't know. But I do think it's going to probably break a lot of trust. Yeah, I think it may break a lot of trust in the government, or maybe he's going to reveal something underhanded that's been happening in the government, and it's going to break a lot of the trust. And again, the harmony that we have here in America. I just feel a lot of distrust and disharmony coming up under this presidency. And whether it's towards Trump or because of Trump, I'm not really sure. I can't give you that. But I do pick up on a lot of distrust and disharmony. And most of the disharmony, it doesn't feel like, to me, it doesn't feel like state to state or city to city kind of thing. It feels very much like brother, sister, husband, wife. It feels very close to home. But this could be current energies I'm picking up on, and it's just carrying through. But that's something I keep getting here. Okay, last cards. Let's see what we get here so I can wrap this up. I feel like this one was, oh yeah, it's raining cats and dogs. And then you remember I was talking about progress and stuff before, and then I get how far are we? Remember I got something earlier about stalemates and things like that, and I was like, steady progress, but it's coming up in reverse here. Enjoy the journey. People are not going to enjoy the journey. I don't think it's going to be steady progress. This just feels very much like the battle between good and evil, and it's not really leaning light, it's not really leaning dark. Like, for every 2 steps the right side get, it's going to be 3 steps on the left. If it's 2 steps on the left, it's going to be 3 steps on the right. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's any give or take here. And sorry for the weird cut. I had to upgrade my memory because I ran out of space. But lastly, just to finish this off, for the It's Raining Cats and Dogs, I think this is the overall message people need to hear who are really worried about Trump being in office, is that this too shall pass. It's going to be a temporary intensity. It's kind of giving that tower moment. There is going to be a lot of whiplash. There is going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of pull, a lot of hurt, maybe harm that's going to come out of this, maybe some ridiculousness, pretty much a continuation of what we got the first time. But I do think, again, out of all the things that how do I want to say, out of all the things that went right in his first term, there's potential for a lot of it to go wrong this time because it doesn't have as much support or drive behind it. It's not, I want to say something that people agree with, but it's just like, I don't know, maybe a lot of people are going to be like, well, what the is this? This is not what we voted you in for, kind of thing. So there's going to be a lot of upset feelings about that. But I think this is the overall message people need to hear. This too shall pass. This is a temporary intensity. You know, whether he exact changes or not, no, it's temporary. This can be changed. Yes, there's a possibility of things that he is going to put into place that could potentially take us back while we're traveling backwards. It could be some things like that, but then there could also be some opportunity here where it's like, hey, bet we know how to play dirty next time. I wish people would play dirty a little bit more when it comes to this, because it seems like that's what people like to see. But or at least just being honest, more truthful. Stop all the drama of it all. That's the best I can do for you all at this time. This is better than the last video I did. I feel like I picked up on a bit more this time, but again, I was not expecting to get anything concrete because this is a whole campaign. This is the whole administration that I'm trying to read on, and there's a lot of back and forth, ups and downs. Things can change. It's a lot of weaving. I think even they don't know exactly the plan, the path that they want to chart, and how they can correctly go through and charter this. So I expect there to be some changes here, and I will probably definitely follow up on another reading. I know I have to do one for energies we're going to be looking forward to globally in 2025. I do have to follow up on that reading. I may do that later on in December though. Don't expect me to be doing it now. But with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this reading. I hope it assuaged some of your fears. I hope it answered some things. I hope it gave some sort of clarity or something resonated with you. If there's something in the cards that probably popped out to you that I overlooked, please let's discuss it down in the comment section below. With all of that being said, I thank you all so much for coming in and watching this video, for giving it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, making sure to select it to all so you can see the next time I upload. With all of that being said, I wish you all a great night or day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.